Good afternoon. Good Thursday afternoon, Faithful Transportation. It's nice and cold finally on this November 4th afternoon. I am here with your weekly training with some housekeeping and a story, actually, one of my stories from 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago. So, as always, the reminder the mission of Faithful Transportation is that every student feels valued and has a safe run. You guys are doing a fantastic job with safety, but we always need to make sure that every student feels valued and has a safe run to school. And we do that by our three core values, which are safety, professionalism, and connecting first. So, without further ado, I'm going to go over our just housekeeping for the week. The first one is open shifts. So I'm sure you are all aware, but we've lost a few drivers. Some of them are sick with surgery. One or two went on to different jobs, and so while we were a few weeks ago, as far as staffing wise, sitting pretty with even a little bit of a cushion some days, we do not have much of a cushion at all, and some days less than a cushion, kind of like a concrete floor, if we're using a soft analogy, is where we're at. So, but Monday and Tuesday, especially of next week, we have some people who've requested off. We have a lot of open shifts. Anything that you can do to help by both picking up any extra shifts and doing your best to come to your shifts and just be who you all are would be incredibly appreciated because we are really short staffed. Also, since we are short staffed, we have a hiring bonus that we always have around, and that is $50 if the person that you recommend completes the application, and then another $100 upon that driver completing 90 days. So you can get $150 just by recommending your family and friends to work here. So, and those are the best employees that we have. I shouldn't say the best employees that we have, but the highest probability of applicants being good employees is certainly recommendations from the people that work here. So please go ahead and do that. If you want any business cards, Jen has some business cards that she can hand out. We can also print out some flyers. Anything that you can do to help would be wonderful. And I will stop bothering you about open shifts if we can get ourselves staffed again. I'm very optimistic that we will. Let's see. Second item is lunch tomorrow. So if you're watching this Thursday afternoon, tomorrow at noon, we are going to be getting Jimmy John's lunch for everybody who signs up. So there's a sign on the door and then the sign up sheets at the dispatch desk. Please sign up. You can order what sandwich and chips that you want. It should be here before your PM shift on Friday afternoon. So Friday afternoon. Final item of housekeeping. Please make sure that if you are more than 5 minutes late, that you are calling into dispatch. We've had a few instances where oftentimes, and we know we're asking you to jump on routes that you're not used to. And so calling into dispatch saying you're 5 minutes late is not saying that you did anything wrong or that you failed as your job as a sub driver. It's just letting us know so we can communicate with the parents. So you are not in trouble for being late ever. But it is very frustrating when you're 20 minutes late and then we get that first phone call saying, I can't find the house. Or even worse, we find out from a parent that their student is 20 minutes late and we don't know why. So it's best practice. It's good customer service. These are all children of parents who love them. And so we want to make sure that if we are late, and we're going to be late at some point, that we just let them know. So anything more than 5 minutes past the regular pickup or drop off time, call in dispatch, let us know, and then we can take it from there and communicate with the families. Okay, so finally, the story is actually one of my stories. It's a small one from 2 weekends ago, about a week and a half ago. I went down to about 45 minutes south, the middle of nowhere, Lancaster County. Might have been actually across Lancaster County. But I went down because we wanted to get some meat, and I liked the person who sold the meat. It was like part of a steer or something like that. And as we were down there, I'd bought all the meat, and then I gave the guy my credit card. And we were so far out that the credit card wasn't able to connect to get any signal. And so we ended up just starting a conversation, and he said, "Hey, what do you do?" And I told him what we did, and the types of students that we transport. And then he was a super nice guy and started telling me about his nephew, and he was telling me the story with a little bit of tears in his eyes. His nephew, who was everything was going really smoothly, and then right at the very end, as far as his delivery, and right at the very end, I think as the cord got wrapped around his neck, and his nephew and sister-in-law were rushed to the hospital, and it took the doctor 45 minutes to get there. And so this student, or this child, has been struggling ever since, but he's made it way farther than we ever anticipated him making, and our whole family loves him. And he just turned 3, and he is planning on going to the Schreiber Center. And I said, well, that's interesting. What's the last name of the student? And pulled out my phone, and my emails were saved in there. And we had gotten the request for that student a few days before, and it was a wheelchair student. And so we weren't able to say yes at that point to this student. And so I looked at the guy and said, we will figure out a way to transport your nephew to school. So, and by we figuring out a way, I said, hey, Jen, can we figure out a way to make this happen? And Jen, we were able to finagle a route on one of our wheelchair vans, which we don't have many of. And we're able to take this student to school for the very first time since he's just turned 3, starting next week. And so I say that because it was a really interesting providential moment or coincidence. And it just reminded me how important our job is, because if they're asking us, Faithful Transportation, that means they have already asked the other contractors that are available, and they all said no. So we are transporting really precious children and really loved children, and we're transporting them so that they can get the help that they need. And I'm really thankful to be a part of this team. I'm thankful that we can get the job done. And I'm most thankful of all of how you guys get the job done every day. Have a great week, and I will see you next week. Hopefully I will see you at lunch tomorrow for Jimmy John's. Bye.